The deafening hum of the Orathian Trade Nexus slammed into Captain Elena Voss as she stepped off the cargo hauler onto the sprawling dock platform. A chaotic swarm of species from across the Orion Arm flooded the cavernous bay. There forms a dizzying array of bioluminescent tendrils, metallic exoskeletons, and shifting plasma clouds. Voices overlapped in a cacophony of guttural roars, synthetic chirps, and harmonic drones, making Earth's busiest orbital hub seem quaint by comparison. Hell of a circus, Elena muttered, adjusting the straps of her weathered tactical vest over her lean, muscular frame. At 38, with a decade commanding freelance security ops for the Terran Coalition, she'd seen her share of galactic melting pots. This one took the crown. The Nexus was a marvel of post-singularity engineering, a lattice of interconnected spheres orbiting a pulsar, each module poolsing with artificial gravity and quantum relays that could process a star system's worth of data. Holographic billboards shimmered across the curved ceilings, hawking neural augments, bioengineered pets, and tore through the Veil Nebula's radiation storms. Elena checked her wrist-mounted holo display, its interface flickering with her assignment details. The job was routine: troubleshoot a security grid malfunction in the Nexus's diplomatic enclave, then catch the next shuttle back to Coalition space. Keep it clean, minimal contact, no waves. Humans were still outsiders in the galactic hierarchy, and the Coalition liked its operatives discreet. Captain Voss, a station guide, approached, a spindly insectoid with compound eyes and a translator buzzing at its thorax. "You're the Terran security specialist." "That's me," Elena confirmed, brushing a strand of dark, cropped hair behind her ear. "Lead the way." "The Enclave's grid is offline," the guide clicked. "Several delegations are agitated." Elena followed through the thronged concourse, sidestepping a hovering merchant peddling crystalline data shards and a trio of gas-based sentients arguing in vaporous bursts. The diplomatic enclave was a stark contrast to the main hub. Its polished corridors exuded a tense calm, the air heavy with the weight of interstellar politics. That's when she saw her. Near a sparking security console stood an alien woman unlike any Elena had encountered. Her skin was a deep violet, shimmering like liquid amethyst under the enclave's soft lighting, accentuating a statuesque figure wrapped in a flowing, translucent robe that clung to her elegant curves. Her hair, if it could be called that, was a cascade of glowing, thread-like tendrils that pulsed faintly with golden light, framing a face with high cheekbones and luminous silver eyes. A pair of delicate antenna-like structures sprouted from her temples, twitching with evident frustration as she prodded the console. "That's Envoy Kaelith Vren," the guide whispered. "Representative of the Sylvaris Dominion. They're a reclusive species, masters of psychic resonance and not fond of outsiders." Elena approached cautiously, her boots silent on the polished floor. "Envoy Vren, Captain Elena Voss, Terran Coalition, I'm here to fix the security grid." Kaelith's silver eyes locked onto her, sharp and assessing. "About time," she said, her voice a low, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate in Elena's chest. "This grid's failure is exposing sensitive channels. Fix it now." "Working on it," Elena replied, kneeling to access the console's core. The issue was obvious: a quantum relay had misaligned, scrambling the grid's encryption. Kaelith leaned closer, her scent something like jasmine and charged static filling the air. "Is it reparable?" "Yeah, but I need to recalibrate the core manually." Elena pointed to the exposed wiring. "Could you step back? I need room to access the secondary relay." Kaelith didn't budge. Elena sighed and stood, finding herself uncomfortably close. To reach the relay, Kaelith had to move entirely. "Envoy," Elena said softly, leaning near her antenna to keep her voice low amid the Enclave's watchful eyes, "please shift aside for a moment." The reaction was instantaneous and bewildering. Kaelith's body froze, her violet skin flaring with a sudden golden pulse that raced from her neck across her exposed shoulders. Her silver eyes widened, pupils contracting to pinpoints, and her antennae quivered violently. A soft gasp escaped her lips, and her hands pressed against her abdomen as if suppressing an internal surge. "Envoy?" Elena asked, stepping back, her combat instincts flaring. "You okay?" Kaelith's voice trembled, almost melodic. "Your voice," the guide's mandibles clattered nervously. "Oh, stars, this is complicated." "What just happened?" Elena demanded, glancing between them. Kaelith straightened, her composure returning with visible effort. "Nothing, proceed with your repairs." She stepped away stiffly, her movements precise, as if fighting to control each muscle. Elena frowned but returned to the console. In minutes she realigned the relay and the grid hummed back to life. "All set, Envoy, security's restored." Kaelith approached warily, keeping a deliberate distance. "The Sylvaris Dominion appreciates your efficiency," she said, her tone formal, almost cold. As Elena packed her tools, a nagging unease settled in her gut. Something significant had just occurred, though she couldn't place it. The guide's compound eyes glinted with a mix of amusement and caution. "What was that about?" Elena asked as they walked away. The guide's translator buzzed. "Not my place to say, Captain, but I suggest researching Sylvaris physiology before your next meeting with the Envoy." "Next meeting?" Elena's brow furrowed. "This was a one-time fix." The guide's antennae twitched. "The Nexus has a way of weaving paths together, especially when resonances align." Her holo-display pinged an urgent message from Coalition HQ. "Voss, change of plans. The Sylvaris delegation requested you as their security liaison for the duration of their stay. Report to the Terran outpost on Deck 9 for briefing." Elena stared at the message. "They what? You made an impression. Move out." Ending the call, Elena glanced back toward the enclave. Kaelith stood at a distance, her silver eyes unreadable but fixed on her. Well damn, Elena muttered. This got complicated fast. Elena's quarters in the Terran outpost were Spartan, a bunk, a desk, and a replicator that churned out passable coffee. Settling in, she activated her holo display and dove into the Coalition's xenobiology database, searching for Sylvaris data. Sylvaris Dominion, she read aloud. A psionically attuned species from the Alara Vale, known for their advanced neural networks and isolationist policies. Characterized by violet, bioluminescent skin, filamentous hair, and she paused, her pulse quickening. A rare vocal resonance response triggered by specific auditory frequencies. The entry detailed a phenomenon where a Sylvaris female could experience a sudden psychic bonding response upon hearing a compatible male or female voice. This resonance, the text continued, initiates a neural cascade, preparing the individual for potential bonding marked by skin luminescence, antenna sensitivity, and hormonal shifts. Once triggered, the response creates a psychic expectation that traditionally must be addressed within a 30-day cycle to avoid neural strain. Son of a, Elena leaned back, rubbing her temples. That's what hit her. The database noted cross-species resonances were rare but documented, including one human case 50 years prior. While culturally significant, modern Sylvaris permit mutual consent, though unresolved resonance may cause psychic discomfort, including heightened sensitivity and cognitive dissonance. Elena powered down the display, her mind racing. Kaelith's request for her as liaison made sense. She was grappling with this unexpected bond. The holo display chimed with her first official task: escort Envoy Kaelith to a diplomatic summit that evening. The summit was held in the Nexus's grand atrium, a soaring chamber with translucent walls offering views of the pulsar's hypnotic pulses. Elena arrived in her formal Coalition uniform, its dark fabric snug against her athletic build. She spotted Kaelith immediately, standing apart from the crowd. Her glowing tendrils were intricately braided, and her translucent robe had been replaced with a sleek sapphire gown that shimmered with every movement. She was breathtaking and visibly tense, her antennae twitching at every sound. As Elena approached, Kaelith's eyes widened and she abruptly turned, slipping into a side corridor. Seriously, Elena muttered, quickening her pace. What followed was an exasperating chase through the enclave's labyrinthine halls. Each time Elena caught sight of her, Kaelith vanished behind a diplomat or service drone. It was almost comical, except for the growing frustration. Finally, Elena cornered her in a quiet observation lounge, its viewport framing the pulsar's glow. Envoy, we need to talk. Kaelith's skin pulsed faintly gold. There's nothing to discuss, Captain Voss. Bullshit. Elena stepped closer. I read about Sylvaris resonance. My voice triggered something in you, didn't it? Kaelith's antennae stiffened, her eyes flashing. You've studied my biology, enough to know you're avoiding me because of it. Kaelith's composure cracked. This is humiliating. I'm an envoy of the Dominion, trained to shield my mind from psychic intrusion, yet your voice, a human's, unravels me. Human, huh? Elena crossed her arms, a spark of defiance in her eyes. Not exactly a glowing endorsement. No offense, Kaelith said quickly, her antennae drooping. Humans are uncharted. Your species is raw, unpredictable. This resonance with you is unprecedented. So what now? The database mentioned a psychic expectation. Kaelith's glow deepened. Traditionally it's fulfilled, but I'm not bound by tradition. I can endure the strain until it fades. How long? 30 Earth days, she admitted, her voice tight. And if we addressed it, her silver eyes locked onto Elena, pupils dilating. Inappropriate, we're strangers. We could change that, Elena suggested, her boldness surprising even herself. Kaelith's poise, her sharp intellect beneath the elegance, drew her in ways she hadn't expected. Kaelith's antennae quivered. You're not what I anticipated from a human. Good or bad? A faint smile curved her lips. I'm assessing. The atrium's announcement system blared, signaling the summit's start. We should return, Kaelith said, smoothing her gown. Our absence will be noted. Elena offered her arm, a formal gesture. Envoy, after a pause, Kaelith took it, the contact sending a visible ripple through her skin. This will be challenging, she warned. Elena smirked. The best missions always are. As they rejoined the summit, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that this assignment had just become the most unpredictable of her career. Over the next week, Elena immersed herself in Sylvaris culture under Kaelith's tutelage. The arrangement served dual purposes: professional cover for their time together and a chance to explore their connection beyond the resonance. Sylvaris Dominion spans 7 star clusters, Kaelith explained as they navigated the Nexus's sensory garden, a dome filled with plants that hummed with faint psychic vibrations. Our psychic networks have guided our exploration for centuries. Elena nodded, her sharp eyes scanning the flora. Humans have barely pushed past our system, your tech's light years ahead. You adapt quickly, Kaelith noted, her silver eyes studying Elena with curiosity. Your mind is disciplined yet open. We're scrappy, Elena grinned, always improvising. Kaelith's antennae twitched in amusement. Evident in your bonding customs too. Elena raised an eyebrow. Come again? Many species engage in prolonged psychic attunements, Kaelith said matter-of-factly. Humans seem expedient. We've got heart, Elena countered, a playful edge to her tone, but we don't mess around. Kaelith's lips quirked. Sylvaris bonding spans 5 psychic cycles, nearly a Terran year. No wonder this resonance threw you, Elena said. It's like your biology hit the fast-forward button. Her skin pulsed gold. Precisely, it's disorienting. They paused beside a plant emitting soft, harmonic pulses. Elena noted Kaelith's careful distance, close enough for conversation, far enough to avoid accidental contact. What's in those cycles? Elena asked. First, psychic alignment, Kaelith explained. Then shared resonance trials, mental exercises to test harmony. Like psychic sparring, not combat, she clarified. Synchronization, the way minds align, reveals compatibility elsewhere. Elena's pulse quickened at the implication. And after, sensory bonding, mapping desires, rhythms. Sounds intense, Elena murmured. You're making this difficult, Captain Voss. Elena, she corrected. If we're talking bonding, first names fit. Elena, Kaelith repeated, the word resonating like a note. The resonance grows stronger each time we meet. The psychic pull is relentless. And you beyond the biology, Kaelith faced her fully. You're compelling. Humans are chaotic, but your strength, your clarity, it's magnetic. Elena felt a warmth spread through her. I'm drawn to you too, not just the glow, though that's something else. Your mind, your resolve, it's captivating. Kaelith's skin flared brighter. There's more to resonance. It's not just physical. Our texts speak of minds entwining across the void. Poetic, Elena said, genuinely moved. We're not without depth, Kaelith hesitated. A ritual could clarify if this is mere resonance or more. What ritual? The binding of echoes, usually the third cycle, but given our situation, I'm game, Elena said. What's the process? My quarters tonight, where something relaxed. And Elena, her silver eyes held hers. Be ready for truth, the ritual demands it. As Kaelith walked away, Elena watched the sway of her glowing tendrils, sensing this ritual would redefine their path. That evening, Elena arrived at Kaelith's quarters in a loose jacket and pants, her usual armor traded for comfort. The door slid open, revealing a transformed space. Cushions encircled a floating crystal orb pulsing with soft violet light. Kaelith knelt on one, her translucent robe replaced with a flowing silver tunic that hugged her form, her tendrils loose and glowing. Welcome, Kaelith said, her voice resonant. The binding awaits. Elena sat opposite, the air charged with anticipation. How does this work? The orb channels psychic essence, amplifying emotional truth, Kaelith explained. We ask questions in turn, touching the orb, its pulses reveal sincerity. You first. Kaelith's hand grazed the orb, it flared. What do you seek from this resonance? Elena touched it, feeling a warm pulse. At first, duty, now connection. There's something about you beyond the physical that pulls me in. The orb shifted from violet to blue. Truth, Kaelith murmured, Elena's turn. If the resonance goes unfulfilled, what's the cost to you? Kaelith's hand joined hers. Discomfort, heightened psychic awareness of you, eventually a dissonant state like static in the mind, not fatal but taxing. The orb glowed green, then gold. Partial truth, Elena noted. Kaelith's antennae drooped. It's more a psychic burn like fire in the neural web. Few endure it when resolution is possible. Steady blue. Truth. Her question, does the resonance's imposition trouble you? Elena considered. Oh, I believe in connections, even unexpected ones. I'm here by choice. Bright blue pulsed. Final question, Elena said, her voice low. Beyond biology, beyond duty, do you want me? Kaelith's touch trembled. Yes, she whispered. Since your whisper, it's more than resonance, your strength, your defiance, it calls to me. The orb blazed blue, nearly blinding. Their eyes locked, the distance between them vanished as they reached for each other. Elena's fingers traced Kaelith's glowing skin, warm and electric. Kaelith's hands gripped Elena's shoulders, firm yet gentle. This isn't the ritual's usual end, Kaelith murmured, her breath warm. We're rewriting the rules, Elena replied. Their kiss was tentative, then deepening, Kaelith's lips soft yet charged with energy. A low hum vibrated from her, resonating through Elena. Your voice, Kaelith gasped. Speak again, understanding hit. You're incredible, Elena whispered near her antenna, feeling Kaelith shudder, her skin flaring gold. What followed was a dance of discovery, alien and human forms aligning in unexpected harmony. The resonance had sparked it, but their connection felt faded, their movements fluid and intuitive. Afterward, they lay entwined, the orb dimmed to a soft glow. Kaelith's head rested on Elena's chest, her tendrils brushing her skin. That was, Kaelith began. Yeah, Elena agreed, fingers in her tendrils. Worth crossing systems for. Kaelith's hum was melodic. Humans have a gift for expression. One of our tricks, Elena chuckled. Kaelith rose on an elbow, her eyes warm. The resonance is sated, but I want. Alarms blared, red lights flashing. Alert, security breach, lockdown initiated. Kaelith grabbed her communicator. Dominion command, she said, reading. The Zorathian conglomerate has attacked our outer relays. Elena sat up. Zorathians, they're supposed to be neutral traitors. A ruse, Kaelith said grimly, dressing. My brother suspected their buildup. I'm recalled for war council. Elena's mind raced. The timing too convenient. Possible agents here, Kaelith agreed, fastening her robe. Elena grabbed her communicator. I need to secure the outpost. A massive explosion rocked the Nexus, lights flickering. Our night just got messier, Elena said, already moving. The second explosion tore through the corridor just as Elena and Kaelith burst from her quarters, the blast wave hurling them in opposite directions amid a cascade of debris and sparking conduits. Elena hit the deck hard, rolling to absorb the impact, her tactical training kicking in as she scrambled to her feet. The air was thick with acrid smoke and the wail of alarms, red emergency lights casting everything in a hellish glow. Kaelith. Elena shouted, coughing against the fumes, her eyes scanning the wreckage. I'm intact, Kaelith's voice echoed from the other side of the collapsed bulkhead, strained but steady. The path to the diplomatic hangar is viable on my side, I must reach my vessel. Elena assessed the barrier. Twisted metal and fallen panels formed a wall at least 3 meters thick. No way through without tools or time they didn't have. We'll have to split up. Rendezvous at your ship if possible. Elena listened, Kaelith called, her resonant tone cutting through the chaos. The Zorathians are cunning opportunists. If they're striking the Nexus, it's targeted data artifacts or high-value captives. Like a Sylvaris envoy, Elena replied grimly, drawing her sidearm, a compact plasma pistol from her vest. Daughter of the Dominion's counselor, you're a jackpot. A pause, then Kaelith's voice softened. Be vigilant, our connection will address it once safe. Focus on survival first, Elena said, though the memory of their intimacy sent a surge of protectiveness through her. Go now, she heard Kaelith's footsteps fade into the distance and turned toward the emergency access ladder leading to the Nexus's security core. The corridors were pandemonium, diplomats and traitors fleeing in all directions, security drones sputtering amid the interference, and distant shouts mingled with energy weapon fire. Elena moved like a shadow, her lean frame slipping through the crowds, using her hollow display to navigate alternate routes. Her mind raced. If the Zorathians had agents here, the security core would be their prime target, disabling grids, stealing intel. As she neared the core level, something felt off. The guards posted at the entrance were too rigid, their movements synchronized in an unnatural way, eyes glassy under the red lights. Ducking into a maintenance alcove, Elena observed. They weren't checking IDs properly, waving through select individuals while detaining others without cause. Holographic disguises or neural overrides, definitely Zorathian infiltrators known for their biotech hacks. She couldn't go in guns blazing, that'd alert the whole station. Backtracking to a service vent, Elena pried open the grate with her multi-tool and crawled inside, the narrow duct echoing with her controlled breaths. Years of coalition ops had honed her for this, tight spaces, high stakes. Emerging above the core room through a ceiling vent, she peered down. 5 figures in Nexus security uniforms worked at the consoles, their skin subtly mottled with Zorathian scales beneath failing holofields. One barked orders in a guttural dialect, jamming protocols engaged, no outbound signals, begin extraction of Dominion SINET codes. Not just sabotage, data theft. Elena's blood chilled. They were after Sylvaris psychic protocols, the very networks Kaelith represented. With those, the Zorathians could infiltrate minds across the Dominion's clusters. Quietly linking her holo display to an auxiliary port, Elena traced their download, confirmed targeting veil coordinates, resonance frequencies, and envoy itineraries. This was invasion prep timed with the outer relay attacks. She needed to stop it. Adjusting the environmental controls remotely, Elena triggered a coolant leak, harmless but chaotic. Alarms shrieked as mist flooded the room, the infiltrators hissing in confusion. Dropping down silently, Elena yanked the primary data drive free and smashed the jamming node with her pistol butt. Intruder, one roared, spotting her through the fog. Elena bolted, data drive clutched in hand, plasma bolt scorching the walls behind her. With jamming down, she activated her communicator. Emergency priority Voss Elena R. Coalition, patched to Sylvaris diplomatic vessel. Connected, the system chimed. Kaelith hold launch, Zorathian diversion, they're stealing your SINET codes and veil routes. Elena, your status? Kaelith's voice held relief edged with worry. Pursued, but I've got the drive, heading to you. She ducked a bolt, firing back blindly. Hangar sealed, lockdown protocols active, but there's an auxiliary vent in Sector 7D. I can hack the override, 20 seconds window. On my way, and Kaelith, there's a traitor in your delegation. Access like this needed insider clearance. A sharp intake. Reach me, we'll unmask them together. Sector 7D was a ghost town, the blast having cleared it. Elena arrived panting, spotting the vent hatch. Here, override now. Engaging 3-2-1, hatch unlocked. Elena squeezed in, drive secure. Halfway through the crawl space, Captain Voss, persistent, aren't you? Twisting, Elena saw Liaison Draven, Kaelith's protocol aide, a wiry Sylvaris male with dull violet skin and calculating silver eyes. Liaison, shouldn't you be with the envoy? Delayed by necessities, his gaze fixed on the drive. That belongs to the conglomerate now. Pieces clicked. Draven's access to codes, his absence during the summit chase. You're the leak. Draven's tendrils pulsed mockingly. The Dominion clings to outdated psionics. Zorathians offer evolution, neural supremacy. Betraying your own for power, for progress. He raised a concealed psi disruptor, handed over. Elena fired first, the plasma grazing his shoulder. Draven recoiled. She scrambled out, emerging into the hangar. Kaelith, Draven's the traitor right behind. A disruptor pulse singed the air. Elena sprinted across the open bay toward Kaelith's sleek crystalline vessel, its engines humming. Kaelith stood at the ramp, her antennae flared, wielding a psychic amplifier that hummed with energy. Elena, cover. She returned fire, bolts forcing Draven behind crates. Traitor, Kaelith projected mentally, her voice echoing in Elena's mind, a new intimacy from their bonding. The Council will probe your mind to dust, Draven snarled back, firing wildly. Won't get the chance, Elena yelled, sliding to Kaelith's side behind a landing strut. They backed up the ramp, Kaelith's amplifier sending disorienting waves that staggered Draven. Inside, Elena slammed the hatch control. Liftoff now. Kaelith dashed to the pilot's console, her fingers dancing over holographic controls. Hangar clamps engaged, overriding. The vessel shuddered as another explosion rocked the bay, Zorathian borders breaching the outer doors. Clamps releasing, Elena said, hacking via her holo display. Go, thrusters fired. The ship lurched free, banking sharply through the debris field around the Nexus. Zorathian fighters peeled off in pursuit, but Kaelith's piloting wove them through the pulsar's interference, losing the tails temporarily. We need to warn the Dominion, Elena said, securing the data drive to the ship's systems. This proves Draven's betrayal and their invasion vectors. Kaelith nodded, but a soft hum escaped her skin pulsing erratically. Something shifts within me. Elena turned, concerned. The resonance or the stress? More, Kaelith whispered, hand to her temple. Our union triggered a deeper cascade. My neural web is evolving. Evolving how? Unknown. Sylvaris bonds can amplify psionics, but with a human, unprecedented. Her silver eyes met Alina's, dilated. I feel your mind clearer now, like an echo in my thoughts. Before Alina could respond, sensors blared, 3 Zorathian interceptors closing fast. We'll figure it out, Alina promised, manning the weapons console. First, evade these pests and reach your homeworld. Kaelith steadied herself despite the internal turmoil. The veil is guarded by psychic wards, transmit codes or we're disintegrated. Send a burst ahead, expose Draven. Risk interception, resolve hardened her features. But I know a hidden rift, a psi smuggler's path from my youth. Zorathians won't detect it. Alina grinned despite the danger. Envoy Vren, rebel at heart, I'm impressed, a faint smile. You haven't seen all my layers, Captain. Their banter cut short by incoming fire. Kaelith executed a spiral evasion, the ship groaning under G-forces. As they hurtled toward the veil, Alina felt a strange certainty. Whatever changes their bond wrought, they'd face united, a fusion of human grit and Sylvaris grace. The interceptors dogged them through 2 hyperspace jumps, their biocannons spewing corrosive spores that nibbled at the shields. Alina returned fire with precision bursts, disabling 1 pursuer in a bloom of debris. Shields at 45%, she reported, sweat beading on her brow. We can't take much more. Nearing the rift, Kaelith replied, her voice steady but laced with strain. The internal evolution was accelerating. Alina could sense it now, a faint psychic hum linking their minds like whispers at the edge of thought. Over the 18-hour flight, they'd grown even closer, sharing fragments of their lives amid repairs and maneuvers. Alina spoke of her coalition days, lone ops in hostile sectors, the scars that made her wary of connections. Kaelith revealed her Dominion upbringing, rigorous psychic training, the weight of envoy duties, a hidden yearning for freedom beyond protocols. The ship plunged into what appeared as a dense nebula wall, emerging in a twisting conduit of warped space, gravitational eddies battering the hull. This rift, Alina gripped her seat, feels like a black hole's throat. Navigable with focus, Kaelith said, her antennae guiding micro-adjustments. Behind, a Zorathian ship followed only to shear apart on a spatial shear. The others veered off. Clear, Kaelith exhaled as they exited into calm Dominion space. Now approach the core world carefully. Wards will sense intruders. Alina prepped an encrypted transmission. Data bundled should convince your Council of Draven. Kaelith watched, her eyes soft. You've forsaken your path for mine. Why? Duty evolved to something more. Alina met her gaze. This bond, it's real. If changes mean a future, I'm all in. Kaelith's hand hovered over her abdomen unconsciously. Sylvaris sensed conception swiftly, our compatibility. It may have sparked life. Alina's heart skipped. A child, half human, half Sylvaris, possible, uncharted. Kaelith's tendrils glowed. My brother is traditionalist, a human bondmate, revolutionary. I'll earn his respect, Alina vowed. Comm activated, transmission range. Envoy Kaelith Vren, kin to Counselor Thorn, emergency clearance. Code Pulsar Omega. Tense silence, a resonant voice, accepted, foreign signature detected, explain. Accompanied by Captain Elena Voss, Terran bears proof of Zorathian treachery, safeguarded my escape, I vouch personally and psychically. Longer wait. Vector transmitted, Counselor awaits, alert, Zorathian armada at Veil's edge. Kaelith input coordinates, hands firm despite changes, we've arrived in time. The Sylvaris core world loomed, a crystalline orb wreathed in psychic auroras, wards shimmering like veils. Descent guided to a fortress spire amid floating archipelagos, structures of living crystal humming with energy. Warriors awaited, tall violet-skinned, antennae alert, armed with psi-lances. At center, Counselor Thorn, Kaelith's brother, imposing, silver eyes stern, tendrils cropped short. Brother, Kaelith bowed. Sister, he acknowledged, gaze piercing Alina. Human, Captain Elena Voss, she stood tall. Evidence of liaison Draven's betrayal and Zorathian plans. Thorn's mind brushed hers lightly, a probe. Unexpected valor for an outsider. Human surprise, Alina replied evenly, faint approval. To the war chamber, hours of debrief. Alina's data dissected, Draven's treachery exposed, with invasion routes known, wards reinforced. When the Zorathian fleet struck, expecting weakness, they met amplified psi storms and crystal fleets. Battle raged, orbital, Zorathian bioships crumbling under psychic barrages. Victory swift, armada retreating in tatters. Afterward, Alina and Kaelith stood on a spire balcony, auroras dancing overhead. Your brother's formidable, Alina observed. Like you, Kaelith leaned close. Impressed by you, humans bring unforeseen harmony. High praise, the highest, she confirmed, especially after I shared our bond. Alina turned, and hand guided to abdomen. Resonance true, connection profound, our child blends worlds. Cert. Alina's voice softened, all mixing with joy. Sylvaris know instantly, Kaelith's eyes gleamed. Brother was stunned, then intrigued. New resonances vital for Dominion evolution, his blessing. Alina laughed, pulling her close. So Sylvaris writes, psi duels for your hand, lengthy but our path defies tradition. Why conform now, Alina whispered, their kiss sealing under auroras. Alina reflected, a grid fix, a whisper, a resonance reshaping destinies. Your voice echoed in my soul, Kaelith murmured, but our love transcends it. Human and Sylvaris, Elena thought, hand over their future, a powerful alloy. First of many, Kaelith envisioned. A new era. As they embraced, Elena knew challenges ahead, but together unbreakable. But peace was fleeting. Days later, as celebrations waned and encrypted burst arrived, coalition intel warning of Zorathian remnants targeting Kaelith personally, seeking to exploit the resonance for bioweapons. We can't stay, Elena said, packing gear. Kaelith nodded, her evolution granting nascent telepathy. To the outer veils uncover their labs. Their journey began anew, bond deepening amid pursuits and discoveries. The child grew a beacon of hybrid potential. In hidden outposts, they dismantled Zorathian cells, Elena's tactics meshing with Kaelith's psionics. One raid on a derelict asteroid, Elena breached defenses, Kaelith psi-scanning for traps. Inside, horrors captive Sylvaris experimented on, resonances weaponized. Freed them, Kaelith commanded, her mind linking with Elena's for amplified strikes. Victory but a revelation, Draven survived, leading the remnants. You'll pay, his psi message taunted. Months blurred skirmishes, alliances forged with rogue factions. Their child, born amid stars, inherited dual gifts, human resilience, Sylvaris empathy. Named Arya, she symbolized hope. Our legacy, Elena whispered, cradling her. Kaelith smiled, and our strength. Final confrontation on Zorath Prime, infiltrating Draven's citadel, Elena and Kaelith faced him. You disrupted evolution, Draven sneered, psi-bolts flying. Your perversion ends, Kaelith countered, their minds united in a resonant storm that overwhelmed him. Draven fell, Zorathians sued for peace. Returning home heroes, Thorn welcomed, your union saved us. Years on, Elena and Kaelith led hybrid initiatives, Arya pioneering cross-species bonds. From whisper to legend, their story echoed eternally. The crystalline spires of the Sylvaris core world, Eloria, shimmered under the cascading auroras that painted the sky in waves of violet and silver. Captain Elena Voss leaned against the railing of their private balcony, the cool night air brushing her face as she watched the psychic lights dance. Beside her, Envoy Kaelith Vren stood, her violet skin glowing faintly, her antenna-like tendrils pulsing in rhythm with the auroras. The warmth of their bond, forged through the resonance triggered by Elena's voice and solidified by their shared trials, anchored them both. Yet the victory over the Zorathian conglomerate's armada just days ago felt like a fleeting reprieve, a calm before an inevitable storm. Elena's wrist-mounted holo display vibrated softly, pulling her from her thoughts. A coalition intel burst, marked urgent, flickered to life. Her old contacts had intercepted chatter. Zorathian remnants, scattered but not broken, were regrouping in the abyssal rift, a nebula pocket riddled with derelict stations and spatial anomalies. Their goal wasn't just revenge, they were experimenting with stolen Sylvaris resonance tech, aiming to weaponize psychic bonds into neural control devices. Worse, Kaelith, as the envoy whose human Sylvaris bond had thwarted their invasion, was their primary target. The possibility that their unborn child Arya, a hybrid of human and Sylvaris potential, could be exploited sent a chill down Elena's spine. We can't linger here, Elena said, her voice low, her hand resting protectively on Kaelith's shoulder. They're not done with you or us. Kaelith turned, her silver eyes catching the aurora's glow. I sensed it in my visions this morning, fractured futures, minds twisted by forced resonances. My brother has already convened the council. They want us to lead a strike into the rift. Her hand drifted to her abdomen, where Arya's presence pulsed faintly, a spark of life already radiating psychic energy. Sylvaris' gestation was rapid, accelerated by their neural nurturing. In just 4 months, Arya would be born, a bridge between two worlds. Elena nodded, brushing a strand of her cropped dark hair behind her ear. I'll call in favors from the coalition. We'll need stealth tech, maybe psi shields for me. If they're messing with resonances, they could hit us where we're strongest, our bond. Kaelith's tendrils glowed brighter, a sign of her deepening affection. Your pragmatism balances my foresight. Together, we're unstoppable. She hesitated, her antennae quivering. But Arya, her potential is already manifesting. I feel her thoughts, faint but curious. If the Zorathians sense her, they won't. Elena cut in, her voice firm. We'll end this before she's born. She pulled Kaelith close, their lips meeting in a kiss that sent a psychic ripple through their shared connection, a warmth that grounded them both. Since fulfilling the resonance, Kaelith's psionic abilities had evolved. She could project thoughts across star systems, sense emotional currents in crowds, and glimpse fragmented futures. But it came at a cost, psychic migraines that struck without warning and an almost overwhelming sensitivity to Elena's presence, as if their minds were merging into one. A low rumble interrupted them, not from the sky but from a landing pad below. A sleek, unmarked shuttle descended, its hull shimmering with Sylvaris cloaking tech. Counselor Thorn's voice projected directly into their minds, a disciplined psychic pulse. Kaelith, Captain Voss to the war chamber, new intelligence awaits. The war chamber was a cathedral of living crystal, its walls alive with holographic star maps and psychic resonance patterns that pulsed like heartbeats. Thorn stood at the center, his imposing figure flanked by Dominion warriors, their antennae alert and silences humming. A holographic figure flickered into existence, Jax Harlan, Elena's former coalition squad mate, his scarred face etched with urgency. Voss, you're a damn hard woman to kill, Jax said, his voice crackling through the link. Intercepted Zorathian comms confirm liaison Draven's alive, running a splinter cell in the rift. They've got Sylvaris captives, envoys, scouts hooked to resonance amplifiers, forcing bonds to create psychic weapons. Neural bombs, mind hacks, you name it, they're building an arsenal to destabilize the Dominion. Kaelith's skin flared gold, her antennae rigid. My people desecrated like that, Thorn's silver eyes narrowed. We cannot allow this. Kaelith Elena, you'll lead a covert team, infiltrate their primary facility, rescue the captives, destroy their tech. The Dominion will provide psi-enhanced ships, the Coalition offers tech support. Elena met Kaelith's gaze, a silent agreement passing between them. We're in, but I'll need psi shields upgraded for human neural patterns, and Myra, my tech specialist from the last op, she's the best at cracking Zorathian systems. Done, Jack said. You've got 48 hours before their next phase activates. Move fast. As the hollow faded, Thorn's mind brushed theirs, a rare warmth in his tone. Protect my sister, Captain, and the child, she's our future. Elena saluted, her resolve steel. No one touches them. Preparations consumed the next hours. The team assembled, Lyra, a wiry Sylvaris warrior with a knack for psi disruption, Vren, Thorn's stoic aide whose telekinetic prowess could move debris fields, and Myra, a coalition tech prodigy with a penchant for hacking under pressure. Their vessel, the Ethereal, was a hybrid marvel, Sylvaris crystal hull for psychic amplification, coalition stealth drives for invisibility. Elena equipped herself with a psi shield bracer, its hum a faint comfort against potential mind attacks. As they boarded, Kaelith pulled Elena aside in the ship's corridor, her hand lingering on Elena's arm. I saw a vision, a shadowed figure, not Draven, orchestrating this, someone older with deeper motives. We must be cautious. Elena squeezed her hand. We've faced worse, together we're a force. The Ethereal launched under a psychic storm, its cloaking rendering it a ghost in the Veil's chaos. Elena took the helm, her hands steady despite the pulsar's interference, while Kaelith meditated in the co-pilot seat, her mind scanning for threats. The journey to the Abyssal Rift was tense, hyperspace jumps punctuated by maintenance checks and strategy sessions. In stolen moments, Elena and Kaelith deepened their bond, their quarters a sanctuary amidst the mission. One night, as the stars streaked past, Kaelith traced Elena's scars, mementos of past ops. These tell stories, she murmured. Of survival courage, Elena chuckled, her fingers brushing Kaelith's glowing tendrils. Yours tell better ones, galaxies crossed, minds linked. Their intimacy was electric, amplified by their symbiosis. Elena now sensed faint psychic echoes, Kaelith's emotions as her own, glimpses of her dreams, visions of Arya, a child with Elena's green eyes and Kaelith's violet glow, her tiny antennae humming with potential. Approaching the rift, sensors detected distorted psychic waves, cries of anguish echoing through the void. They're torturing them, Kaelith whispered, her face pale. I feel their minds breaking. Elena gripped her shoulder. We'll free them, stay focused. They docked on a derelict station's outer hull, a crumbling relic of a forgotten war. Cutting through with plasma torches, they entered a labyrinth of flickering biolumens and stale air. Elena led, her plasma pistol raised, psi shield humming. Myra scanned for traps, her portable rig pinging softly while Lyra and Vren flanked, their psi lances ready. The first resistance came fast. Zorathian guards, their scales augmented with neural implants, ambushed them in a corridor. Elena's shots were surgical, dropping 3 as Lyra unleashed psi bolts that shattered neural links, leaving enemies convulsing. Vren telekinetically hurled debris, clearing a path. But the station's layout was a maze, its walls pulsing with unnatural energy. Deeper they found the lab's nightmarish chambers where Sylvaris captives were strapped to crystalline pods, their tendrils wired to resonance amplifiers. Tubes pumped biofluids, forcing artificial bonds that twisted their minds. One captive, Envoy Kaelith, her violet skin dulled, locked eyes with Kaelith. They break us to make weapons, Kaelith knelt, her mind linking to soothe Kaelith's pain. We're here, hold on. Alarms screeched ambush. From the shadows emerged Draven, his scarred violet skin pulsing with unnatural energy, eyes glowing with Zorathian augments. Vren and her human mate, your bond will perfect my work. A psychic wave crashed over them, disorienting. Elena's vision swam, images of Kaelith tortured, Arya dissected. But their symbiosis surged. Elena drew on Kaelith's clarity, firing through the illusion, her bolt grazing Draven's arm. Not happening, traitor. The battle erupted. Zorathian biodrones swarmed, their whips lashing with neural venom. Myra hacked a terminal, downloading schematics of the resonance tech, while Lyra and Vren held the line, psi bolts and telekinesis creating a storm of chaos. Elena and Kaelith fought as one. Elena's physical precision meshed with Kaelith's psionic strikes, a seamless dance of combat. Draven retreated to a central chamber where a massive resonance amplifier pulsed like a dark heart. Your child's potential will birth a new order, he snarled, his mind projecting visions of galactic domination. Kaelith's evolution flared, a psychic shield enveloped them, deflecting Draven's attack. You'll never touch her. Together they struck. Elena's plasma volley disabled his augments. Kaelith's mind probe shattered his defenses, leaving him crumpled. But the station's self-destruct triggered, a countdown echoing. Move, Elena yelled, helping Kaelith and others to the ship. Explosions chased them, the Ethereal barely escaping as the station imploded. Back on Eloria, celebrations erupted. Thorn honored them. Your bond saved our kin. Arya's birth followed weeks later, a radiant child, her green eyes sparkling, her violet skin glowing. Her tiny antennae sensed emotions instantly, calming even the sternest warriors, but peace was fleeting. Coalition intel reported Zorathian labs scattered across the Vale, each experimenting with resonance tech. Worse, Kaelith's visions hinted at a greater threat, a shadowed figure not Draven orchestrating from beyond the rift, an ancient Sylvaris elder Vexar exiled for forbidden experiments. We need to hunt them down, Elena said, cradling Arya. No more labs, no more weapons. Kaelith nodded, her mind linking with Elena. To the outer Vales will end this. Their new mission launched with a broader team. Sylvaris Psyadepts, coalition operatives, and an unexpected ally in Etherian, a gaseous sentient named Silis, whose psychic lore rivaled the Sylvaris. Their ship, upgraded with Etherian phase shifters, could slip through spatial anomalies undetected. The outer Vales were a graveyard of stars littered with forgotten colonies and void anomalies. One such colony, Zathara, was overrun by void parasites, mind-eating entities that fed on psychic energy. Infiltrating its ruins, Elena faced psychic assaults, visions of abandoning Kaelith, of Arya corrupted. But Arya, now a toddler carried in a psi-shielded harness, projected innocent strength, her tiny mind bolstering them. Together they purged the parasites, recovering artifacts, ancient Sylvaris relics that amplified Kaelith's visions. One revealed a prophecy, a convergence where hybrids like Arya would unite fractured species against a cosmic threat. Years passed in relentless pursuit. Arya grew into a prodigy, her hybrid nature blending human curiosity with Sylvaris empathy. At 6, she mediated a tense standoff between coalition miners and Sylvaris settlers, her gentle psionic touch easing fears. Elena and Kaelith's bond deepened through countless missions. On a remote moon during a rare respite, they renewed their vows in a Sylvaris ritual, their minds entwining under a canopy of stars. From a whisper to forever, Elena said, her voice sparking Kaelith's glow. But the Eclipse Order emerged, a cult worshipping void entities led by Vexar seeking to corrupt resonances into dark bonds. During a diplomatic summit, they kidnapped Arya, now 8, sensing her as the key to their ascension. The rescue mission was their greatest challenge. The Order's fortress world, Nocturne, was a planet of eternal night, its atmosphere thick with psychic static. Elena infiltrated, her psi-shield straining, guided by Kaelith's visions through labyrinthine traps. In the heart of the citadel, Vexar loomed, his violet skin blackened, eyes voids of malice. The hybrid will birth our eternal night, he intoned, his mind lashing out. Arya resisted, her light piercing the dark, amplifying Elena and Kaelith's bond. United, they overwhelmed Vexar. Elena's tactics disrupted his defenses, Kaelith's psionics shattered his will, and Arya's purity cleansed the corruption. The Order collapsed. Nocturne's fall sparked galaxy-wide reforms. The Dominion and Coalition forged a permanent alliance, Arya a symbol of unity. Decades later, Elena, graying but fierce, stood with Kaelith on Eloria's highest spire, watching Arya lead a diplomatic fleet, her hybrid nature bridging worlds. Our whisper started a universe, Kaelith said, her hand in Elena. And it echoes on, Elena replied, their kiss sealing a legacy. Yet in the stars, new whispers stirred, unknown entities, new adventures. Their story a beacon would inspire for